So the Salisbury attack is a big deal. It is a massive, massive issue that needs to be fully investigated. At this time, I don't know. We don't know. As a country, we don't know if Russia actually had anything to do with it. If they did, of course they're going to deny it, which they're doing. But this is where it gets me. The same people who are adamant that Russia are behind this are the same people who were adamant that Saddam Hussein had WMDs. Well, looking back on it, we know that's not true. At the time, a lot of us knew that wasn't true. And the intelligence said, no, it's not true. So here's where this gets to a bit of a complicated issue for me. And I'm not defending Russia at all. I'm not defending Vladimir Putin at all. He has killed people before. He's killed people on British soil before. He's killed political opponents. He's attacked and murdered journalists who didn't kiss his ass. Russia's attitude towards the LGBT community is disgusting. I'm not defending Russia or Putin at all. But I can't condemn them unless I know for sure. And part of the reason that makes me doubt is that Theresa May isn't allowing Jeremy Corbyn access to the intel. The evidence that we're gathering, the intelligence that we're building, Jeremy Corbyn is being denied access by the Prime Minister, and yet he's still being demanded to take a stance one way or the other. This is a problem in itself, but it also goes into a further problem because I've noticed every time I see any debate on Russia, there's a picture of Jeremy Corbyn in the background. Now this is furthering the absurd notion that Corbyn is a traitor, that he sold state secrets, all coming from Ben Bradley's blatant lie. He wasn't in Colombia, he was in bloody Derbyshire. But it's pushing forward this notion of you can't trust Corbyn. And I'm seeing this becoming more and more prevalent. Also seeing Theresa May's reaction when she went to Salisbury. It wasn't of a respectful human being in an area where there was a blatant attack. And it was an attack. Don't know who was behind it, but it was a blatant attack. This nerve agent didn't just pop out of nowhere. But Theresa May didn't act in the way that a Prime Minister should. She acted as if she was a rock star surrounded by a load of bloody groupies, taking selfies, signing autographs. Come on! You're a leader of a country in an area where there was possibly an act of war committed. Now, as I said, I'm conflicted on this. I personally believe that Russia is more than possible of doing this. Looking at attacks that Russia have done before, this seems incredibly sloppy, but I don't think it's beyond their wheelhouse. At the same time, I can also completely believe that Theresa May and her buddies have something to do with this. Through their actions, people have died in the street. In fact, in the last few weeks, because of their actions, people have died in the streets. So it's something that I don't think we can rush in on and start screaming, Russia did it, Russia did it, because we haven't got all of the evidence yet. I'm not saying they didn't do it, I'm not saying they did it, because in the beginning I thought Russia had done it completely, and then new things started to pop up that have actually made me question it. Mostly the fact that we don't have access to the intel that's being gathered. This is something that we need to treat very, very carefully and be very clever with how we move forward. Whether Russia is responsible or not, it's not something we can just start yelling and screaming. Follow the money. Russia owns Donald Trump. Just follow the money. As I said, it's something that we can't rush into and start screaming about. We have to be smart.